Hello, it's Nick from Poised and Balanced, helping you to rediscover the innate healing potential and wisdom that lives deep within you. In this video, I'm going to be guiding you through constructive rest. So, in order to get down to the floor, create a quiet, comfortable place and space where you're not going to be distracted. And make sure the ground's not too hard. You don't want anything too soft like a bed, so don't do it in a bed. And I'm just going to come into a lunge. As I come into lunge, one of the most important things is maintaining that extension and expansion through the body. So I'm not going to be collapsing down as I come into that lunge. Then I'm going to come onto my knees. I'm going to release down towards the heels, and as I'm releasing down, I've still got that intention of thinking up. Where our attention goes, our energy flows. So I'm mobilizing the spine. Then I'm going to come onto my bottom. I've got a bit of support behind the head. That's to help to bring the head into alignment with the spine. I'm going to place the feet roughly hip width apart. I'm going to say hello to my feet. Most of us ignore our feet and never give them any attention, appreciation, acceptance, acknowledgement. So it's like hello feet, and just checking they're roughly hip width apart. If they're too far out, then you'll find the toes don't touch the ground. So I really want my feet to be plugged and rooted into the ground. And then I'm going to create an intention of how I'd like to show up for myself. How would you like to show up for yourself? What's the quality that you'd like to develop? A way of being. And a way of being is, I'd like to be calm, I'd like to be present, and peaceful and patient. It does take practice and patience. You're practicing the art of undoing. You're practicing the art of just being. And part of that being can be being present, being patient, being peaceful, being calm. So that's the intention I'm going to create for this 10-15 minutes I'm going to be lying down. If there's not enough support behind the head, the neck muscles will probably contract and you'll be pulling the head back and down. If there's too much support, then I'll be tightening the neck muscles and blocking the airstream, so the windpipe. So that feels about right. What I suggest you do is just gently roll the head from side to side. Before I do that, I'm going to think of my neck muscles releasing, and I'm going to use the eyes to just gently guide my head to the right. Then just gently guide the head to the left. Just to ensure, so you can do that a couple of times, just to ensure that there's no restriction and there's no tension in the neck muscles. And if you do have tension, this is a wonderful way to release tension in the neck and the shoulders, and indeed the whole body. So there, that the neck feels good. I suggest you keep your eyes open and have a soft focus and expanded awareness. The hands can be placed on the chest, the abdominal muscles, or you can place them out to the side. I'm just going to bring the feet a little bit closer towards me. So make any adjustments. So you're going to settle yourself in so you feel comfortable. You feel supported. And allow yourself at least 10-15 minutes. It takes 10 to 15 minutes for the nervous system to calm down, the body to calm down. The accumulated practice of this will produce remarkable results. So if you do have back pain, neck pain, any sort of musculoskeletal issue, this is really remarkable. And what we're doing is harnessing the elements of the ground. Imagine the ground being like the surface, the core of the earth. That's really going to support you, nourish you, and sustain you. And we're working with the gravity. The gravity's trickling down into the body. And as I said, the body's innate healing wisdom. If we just create these healthy conditions, the body will do most of the work. We've just got to get ourselves out of the way, because often you're in the way, we're in the way of us allowing the body's healing wisdom to bring itself back into equilibrium, what we call homeostasis, where the nervous system can begin to go into parasympathetic, which is rest and digest and repair. And most of the time, we're under a little bit of stress. So you can think of the whole of your spine elongating along the floor, right from the tailbone all the way up through the lower back, the sacrum, the lower back, all the way through the thoracic, the mid-spine, right up through the neck. And just remember, the tip of the spine is where the atlas occipital joint is, and often that head is pressing down onto that joint. It's pressing and compressing the spine. So this is an opportunity for the spine to lengthen. That head is such a heavy weight, and we're just thinking of that space in between all the vertebral bones. And all those discs in between your vertebral bones can replenish with the spinal fluid. And just remember, a quarter of your spine is made up of those invertebral discs. And we know how susceptible we are to those discs becoming compressed and squashed, and what they often call slip discs. And yeah, we're learning to just create that expansion and space in the body. So I'm thinking my eyes resting in the eye sockets. So just, really think of your eyes resting, nesting in the eye sockets, your facial muscles being soft, your jaw being soft. Think of giving yourself this quality time. Imagining that you have time, you have space. You give yourself space, you give yourself time. And just imagine breathing deeply into the body, breathing deeply into the back. That breath is coming in through your nose, down through your throat, and that breath is helping to awaken the spine, to lengthen the spine. So deep, nourishing, cleansing in-breath and a deep exhalation. So that breath is fueling the spine, waving through the spine, helping to calm the body down. And eventually we're just let go of the breath, and we just become the silent witness and observer of our body, of our breath. Inviting the body to let go, to release. And the whole body will just gently release, and I can feel that strong support from the earth rising up into my body. My feet are spreading and rooted. I can almost feel my toes releasing away from the feet. My knees are floating up into the sky. And the more my feet are rooted, the more the pelvis starts, that bony container of the pelvis, as that starts to soften and to release, the knees will be able to float up more effortlessly. Then we've got the bony container of the head, the bony container of the ribs. They're often reference points where we can feel those contact points, the back of the skull, the shoulders. I can breathe into the shoulders, and I can think of the shoulders releasing away from the torso. So I invite you to think of your shoulders releasing away from the torso, and thinking of sending inhibitory thoughts. And what I mean by inhibitory thoughts is you're just asking those muscles to switch off. Most of the time they're overexcited and stimulated, the body, the muscles, the nervous system. So we're doing the opposite. We're asking those muscles to release. And I'm thinking of that release going through each shoulder, each arm, right down to the tips of the fingers. The fingers releasing away from the hands. I'm thinking of internal space between all the joints. So as my body's supported, as you feel your body start being supported, you're going to feel that space in between the joints. so you don't feel that compression. Thinking of space in between all the ribs. All the ribs can start to open. I can feel that gentle movement in the ribs. That gentle expansion and contraction. And just remembering how healing silence is. In the Buddhist wisdom traditions, they say silence is golden. Silence, I can allow the body to heal and to do its work. Silence is like the food of the soul. So you're practicing the art of just being present, being patient, being calm. Give yourself at least 15-20 minutes. Notice when the mind wanders off. The mind will always wander off. Then you're just practicing, just noticing when your mind wanders off, then just practicing coming back into the present moment. Drawing yourself back to your body, back to your breath. I can feel my body beginning to smile as it releases into the earth. I allow myself to be supported by the earth. I give myself permission to let go. You give yourself permission to really let go. Allow that gravity to work for you and with you. So I'm just going to gently finish off. Before I finish off, I'm going to elongate both legs alternately. This releases a deep muscle called the psoas muscle, and it also releases that posterior chain of muscle that runs right from the base of the skull all the way along the torso, all the way along the back muscles, right through the hamstrings, all the way through the legs, right into the Achilles heel. So I really feel a lovely feeling of expanse and length through the body. So as you do that, really enjoy the length and just let yourself hang out there for about 30 seconds, longer if you wish. It opens up space between the iliac crest and those lower floating ribs. So again, we're expanding and creating that internal space. And just think of you having that internal space. You breathing that internal space into the body. So I'm going to just gently draw that leg and that foot back to where it was. And I'm just going to do the same with the left leg, extending and expanding the body. So I'm enjoying that length all the way through the body. And just really notice what that feels like. That length from the base of the skull all the way down through the torso, through the legs, right into the Achilles heel. And you can even just gently flex the foot and point the foot. And I feel that lovely expansive space. So we're going to prepare to roll off. The quality of your movements is always directly proportionate to the quality of your thinking. So our thinking influences our movement, and mostly we don't have any thought behind our movements. As I roll to the side, I'm going to be thinking of moving with fluidity, with lightness, and this sense of this integrity through the spine, neck and head. So as I move, it's like a sequence whole movement. So as the legs roll to the side, I can feel the head rolling at the same time. So it's like a whole sequence movement. And the breathing accompanies the movement accompanies the breath. Then I'm just going to gently come up onto all fours. And you'll notice that length all the way through the spine, neck and head. That's what we're working on restoring, is that integrity through the spine, neck and head. And I'm just going to gently come back into standing. So just gently coming into that lunge, slightly leaning forward. I can lean backwards and forwards. Then I'm just going to brush the other foot back and to come up into standing. And that's the constructive rest. I was thinking in that activity, thinking in the movement as I came up, giving that length and expanse all the way through the body. So I hope you found the video useful. I'm going to be posting loads more new videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching. And please consider subscribing to my videos.